Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Herbal Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. Today I want us to talk about something very important as a beginner in poultry farming, and I have major factors to consider as a beginner to become successful in poultry farming, because so many people have started this project and they have failed. So many people say that this poultry farming do not have any profit. Poultry farming, there are so many saying out there about this project, but me as Sisi, who has done this project for the last 5 years, I've really seen something lucrative in this project, and that is why I want to encourage someone out there who is planning to start this project that please, if you really have that passion and the love for poultry farming, just start it. It is really very lucrative. And today I want us to look at these 7 major factors that as a beginner you should consider to become successful in poultry farming. And number one is the location of the farm. Where you are planning to put your farm matters. First of all, make sure that you put the farm in a location where it is accessible. Don't go and put a farm very deep in the village where it has very bad roads, where it doesn't even have the market. Make sure that when you're starting your farm, at least try as much as possible to consider the market, to consider the transport means, and to consider how far is it from the consumers. Because I don't want you to start the project. Now let's look at broilers. If you put broilers very far away from an urban area, who is going to go there to get your broilers? Who will consume the broilers? Even the same thing applies to eggs. And that is why some farmers start their project and they fail to get even market for the eggs. I've got so many of you asking me, how do you sell your eggs? But the location of your farm matters, because if you look at me here, I'm really within an urban area whereby my eggs are being consumed. Actually, even they are being booked before the birds lay. So the location of your farm is really very important as a beginner in this project. Make sure you put the farm in a place which is accessible. And then number two is the housing of the birds. The housing is really very important. From the brooder, make sure the brooder is in a way that the ventilation is very okay for those chicks. Even now when the birds grow, the housing should be spacious enough for them to live in. Do not congest the birds. If you congest those birds will disturb you a lot with sicknesses, with infections, because they are too congested. These birds need a house which is well ventilated, which is large enough for them. Actually, they say that in 1 square meter, there should be only 4 birds. I think I've talked about this before. In 1 square meter, make sure a mature bird, there are 4 mature birds in 1 square meter. So as a beginner, please let us consider that. If you know your land is small, please make sure you bring few number of birds. This one is in the case of layers. Even the broilers still, they need space. Even those who are planning to do the local birds. In fact, the local birds need more space compared to these exotic breeds. So make sure the housing is really very okay. The housing is in a way that the rats cannot even access it. Other rodents like dogs cannot access it. And then number 3 factor that you must consider as a beginner in this farm, in this project, is the feeding of these birds. Guys, feeding is really very important in poultry farming. Feeding is very important in a way that from the very first day you bring the birds, make sure you're giving them the right feeds. Make sure that the feeders are enough for all the birds. When you put the feeds, make sure all the birds are able to feed at the same time. Even the mixing of the feeds, because me here I use pellets for the first 4 weeks. I don't mix the feeds, but after the 4 weeks, from week 5 till I lay the birds off, I normally mix my own feeds. So whenever you're mixing the feeds, make sure that they are all the ingredients are available in that feed. That is why your birds might reach a certain point and stop laying. It will reach a certain point and to drop in the laying. The birds might take long before they start laying. So please let us consider the feeding of the birds. Alongside feeding, drinking water should be available, and this should be clean drinking water. These birds have to drink enough water. Even those who do broilers, the broilers, the more water they drink, the more weight they put on. And even the layers, the more water they drink, the more eggs and the more big the eggs will be. So as a beginner, please let us try as much as possible to make sure that birds have water at all time, and clean drinking water, and should be enough. The drinkers should be put enough that all the birds are able to drink the water. And another factor to consider, I think this is factor number 4, is the biosecurity. Guys, biosecurity is very, very important in poultry farming. Both the local birds and these exotic birds. We must consider biosecurity. Make sure there is a foot bath at the entrance of your farm. Even those who are keeping the local birds, much as they're in a free range, please let us try as much as possible to consider biosecurity. Because even you, the owner of the farm, if you just come from wherever you've been and enter the farm without disinfecting yourself, you're bringing these diseases to the birds. So let us really try as much as possible to consider biosecurity. I've received so many comments, people asking, what disinfectant do I use? Please go to those veterinary pharmacy, and any disinfectant which is there, it is effective. Just buy it like that and use it. I don't want you to stress yourself to look for the one I use, and you look for it everywhere. Please try and go to the pharmacy, ask those people about the disinfectant they have. The one they give you, which is they tell you is good, please use it. It will work for you. So please, biosecurity is really very, very important in this project. Another factor that you must consider as a beginner in this project is the vaccination. Vaccination is very important in poultry farming, both in the local breeds and these exotic breeds, because this viral infection, these viral diseases, once it attacks the birds, sometimes it is very, very difficult to reverse the situation. Sometimes you will end up losing all the birds. That is why I will tell you that, please, if you're going for layers or broilers, make sure that the company that will supply you with the birds give you the vaccination schedule, and try to follow it as it is written there. So guys, let us really try as much as possible to vaccinate our birds, both the local birds and these exotic birds. And another factor that you must consider as a beginner in this project is your presence as the owner of the farm in this project. Please, in every business, the owner must be present. If you see the businesses where owners are there and the ones where the owners are never there, you'll see that the two are different. Especially someone who is just starting the project, you must always be available in your farm. If you leave the work in the hands of workers, trust me, your production will not be to your satisfaction. You will even not realize the profits as people are saying. So that is why I will really request you as a beginner that if you're starting this project, try to create time for your farm. You might want it to be a part-time job, but please try to create time for this project, and be there, be present. Be there to study these birds. Be there to see what is going on. Because I don't want you to wake up one morning and realize that the birds can no longer lay. The birds have reduced in numbers. The birds are not laying. All the birds are sick because you have not been in the farm. And then another factor that you must consider is, of course, the use of herbal remedies in our poultry farms. Guys, I've really talked a lot about these herbal remedies, but it's just because I use it and I see it work. And I feel like it is more healthy to use the herbal remedies in our farms. So I've really used the herbal remedies and they're working for me. So that is why I'm really encouraging someone who is new in this project that if you can embrace the use of herbal remedies, it will help a lot, because it will cut also some of the cost. Most of you are asking me whether should we use these herbal remedies every day. Well, I would say no. Do not use it every day. Try to draw a timetable and see days that you can give your birds these herbal remedies. And also about the mixing of the herbal remedies, you can even decide to use them separately. Now, like me, most time I use it separately. If the days that I'm using only garlic, I use only garlic. If the days I'm using only ginger, I use only ginger. If the days that I'm using aloe vera, I only use aloe vera. Maybe if there is any mixing, I would advise let's only mix two at a time. So please let us really embrace the use of these herbal remedies in our poultry farm. In that way, we shall really enjoy poultry farming. So for today, that is what I feel I should share with you. But I want to be honest with you. With poultry farming, profits is there in both the locals and the exotic breeds. Just like in any other investment, when you invest your money, you always wait for the profits to come, but you always have to first bring back the capital that you have invested, and then later you start collecting back the profits. It's just the same thing that happens with this poultry farming. So it is really a lucrative business that I really encourage each and every youth to join in, each and every man out there to join poultry farming, and each and every woman out there to join poultry farming. So for today, thank you so much for watching. Guys, we are soon hitting 30k subscribers. Please let us keep on subscribing, and don't forget to hit on the notification bell, share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. Don't forget to tell me which country you're watching me from, and I'll be smiling. See you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.